Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this very special presentation this morning, part of our Kerby Center's Live Well, Be Well ongoing series of online mental well-being presentations, provided with the support of Ecclesiastical Insurance Community Impact Grant and United Way Calgary and area. Before we begin, as we gather here today, it's vital we also remember the peoples who've gathered here for millennia. This is the Treaty 7 land of the Indigenous peoples of Southern Alberta, the Blackfoot Nations of 𝗚់cishe 𝗱 𝗦𝗶𝗀𝗶𝗀𝗃, the 𝚸σσina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda Nations of 𝗚ćniki, Bears Paw, and Wesley, and the historic home of the Northwest Métis and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. It is with the goal of reconciliation that we acknowledge the land on which we gather, and we thank the elders of these nations for their timeless contributions to this land. In honor of Mental Health Week, we continue our week-long series of presentations by professionals dedicated to various mental health issues. When one thinks of mental health, the immediate thought goes to isolation, depression, anxiety that we're all experiencing as a result of the pandemic and what we've all been through this past year. However, there are many facets to mental health: addiction, abuse, dementia, anxiety and mood disorders, schizophrenia and psychotic disorders, suicide, eating disorders, sleep disorders, and more. Mental illness indirectly affects all Canadians at some time through a family member, friend, or colleague. In any given year, 1 in 5 people in Canada will personally experience a mental health problem or illness. This year, more than ever, we have come to understand that not being okay is okay, and the value of reaching out and staying connected, something we try to do with this series of presentations. This week, we explore several of these circumstances with professionals who guide you through the understanding of illness and help to get the answers and support that you or your loved one may need. Today, we feature good sleep habits, and we are very pleased to welcome Kerby Center's very own 𝗚venita Kapoor. Vanita, I could have used you last night. Vanita is a Kerby Center's Manager of Information Resources and holds a master's degree in psychology, along with a postgraduate diploma in guidance and counseling. Vanita has over 18 years of experience working as a psychologist and psychotherapist with different population groups. She also has a certificate from Hospice Foundation of America for dealing with complicated grief in COVID-19 era, a certificate in the science of well-being from Yale University, and has taken courses in autism, dyslexia, therapy, and special education needs. Vanita, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us about the effects of sleep deprivation and that the effect that it has on our well-being, and what can we do to get a good sleep?
Thank you, Colleen, for this introduction. And getting enough sleep is essential for helping a person maintain their optimal health and well-being. So when it comes to the health, sleep is as vital as regular exercise and eating a balanced diet. So this is what I'm going to talk today about: how to get good sleep and what are the good habits related to it. So I would be sharing my screen now. So coming to good sleep habits, what is a good sleep? So modern life keeps us very busy. We find ourselves ignoring the fundamentals like our health, family, friends, community, etc. All that neglect causes dysfunction in our lives. We try desperately to fix the problem after it has become a significant issue. In other words, we are attempting to reverse the damage once it has already become a disorder. Yes, there are some things that are simply unavoidable, such as genetics, certain life stressors, such as the death of a loved one, or a layoff from a job. So coming to sleep, what is a good sleep? So healthy sleep is defined as adequate duration. It should be a good quality, appropriate timing, and it should be regular. So protect your sleep. Your life depends on it. This is perhaps the most important intervention for our mental upkeep. It is a chicken or the egg dilemma. Do mental health disorders cause sleep disturbances? Or does insomnia trigger a cascade of symptoms leading to a mental health problem? Well, the basic answer is both can occur. Neuroimaging and neurochemistry studies suggest that a good night's sleep helps foster both mental and emotional resilience, while chronic sleep disruptions set the stage for negative thinking and emotional vulnerability. Our brain likes patterns, repetition, and routine. So what signals are you giving to your brain? If it receives signals on a regular basis, even unhealthy ones, it will lock into that pattern. Now, these are some of the signs of sleep deprivation. Like, we spend a third of our lives asleep. So most people know that a good night's sleep is the best way to recover after a hard day. But sleep is not just crucial to recovery. It's essential for maintaining cognitive skills such as communicating well, remembering the key information, and being creative and flexible in thought. So research has shown that without enough sleep, we can become less cooperative, more selfish, and less inclined to behave ethically. There is also a strong relationship between sleep and physical and mental health, and not getting enough sleep has a profound impact on our ability to function. So if you see that if you are deprived of good sleep, there would be less communication, performance will go down, you won't be able to concentrate properly, easily getting distracted is one of the signs. Greater risk-taking behavior. So you do not think much before acting. You just are being more impulsive. Your mood is not good, and there is more chance for you to get engaged in inappropriate behavior. Poor cognition, assimilation, and memory, inability to make necessary adjustments. You are not able to adapt properly to situational demands. There is increased intake of caffeine, energy drinks, and more of sickness and sick leaves if you are working. So all this is quite a bit if you are not getting enough sleep. Now coming to stress and sleep disorders. So stress and insomnia go hand in hand. It becomes more complicated to stay relaxed and feel comfortable when we spend our days running to manage our job, career, or business, family life, personal life. Often 24 hours in a day are not enough when we live surrounded by the digital world and lots of stress. So while insomnia itself is a reason for anxiety, it's the vicious circle that we should be breaking. So 19% people who are in the age group of 45 to 64, they have admitted to losing sleep due to stress a few nights per week. Few nights per week, that's a big number that we should be worried about. So 54% say their stress or anxiety increased their anxiety about falling asleep at night. So in the beginning, you are already have that anxiety, and now you are anxious about not getting enough sleep. So our body has a biological clock that only that schedule ensures a healthy life cycle of all actions taking place inside us. So stress breaks this chain, and it can impact negatively in many ways, affecting your quality of life. So imagine you are lying in bed feeling anxious, worrying, thinking about pondering deep questions, or feeling stressed about insomnia itself. All those thoughts will not let you feel relaxed and calm your mind enough to fall asleep. For many people, this stress is temporary and can be quickly resolved. But when it continues night after night after night, then the very thing that's keeping you awake is the stress about losing sleep. So as you can see, it's a vicious cycle. Like you are feeling worried, you are feeling stressed about something. If you have that something in your head that's going on, you lack the sleep. And if you don't get enough sleep, you get up in the morning feeling tired. If you are tired throughout the day, you find it difficult to cope with the daily life. And if you are not able to follow your daily routines and course properly, it leads to low self-esteem. Oh, I'm not capable of doing it properly. And the low self-esteem, it again leads to feelings of worry and anxiety. I'm feeling stressed about not being able to do my work properly, not being able to perform. And these feelings will again lead to this vicious cycle of losing sleep. So excess worry and fear make it harder to fall asleep. So sleep deprivation can worsen anxiety, spurring a negative cycle involving insomnia and anxiety disorders. So how do you stop that anxiety? Take a time out, limit alcohol and caffeine, get enough sleep, exercise daily, take deep breaths, eat a well-balanced meals. Often we see that when people are anxious, they resort to more junk food and fast food that are not at all healthy. High blood pressure is one of the leading risks for heart disease and strokes. So, but you can prevent it. Reduce your salt intake, eat fruits and vegetables regularly, avoid saturated food, fats and trans fats, avoid tobacco, reduce alcohol, be physically active every day. All this can lead to a healthy lifestyle, which would automatically lead to you getting good sleep. These are some of the tips to sleep better. Avoid screen time an hour before sleep. Having a light dinner, don't stuff yourself, just eat what is required. A light snack would do. Avoid staring at your phone screen. A lot of us have the habit of going to bed with the phone, scrolling through Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, and we are looking at the screen till our eyes are closing and we want some sleep. Establish a bedtime routine, go to bed at the same time every day, whatever day it is of the week, but having a routine helps. Drink a glass of warm milk, that gives you good sleep. De-stress by meditating, listen to some soothing music. Reading before bed can help you wind down and get a better night's rest. We are going to talk about these habits in detail as we go on. So exercise. Older people who exercise regularly fall asleep faster, sleep longer, and report better quality of sleep. You need to burn those extra calories, feel tired, and that would give you good sleep. Reducing bedroom distractions, as we discussed. Televisions, cell phones, and bright lights can make it more challenging to fall asleep. Move electronics out of the bedroom and reserve the bedroom for only sleeping. How many of us have TV in our bedroom, television, or a computer? So keep the television in another room and try not to fall asleep with it turned on, because with the loud music, sound, it would be difficult to fall asleep. Make sure your bedroom is quiet, dark, and cool, and your bed is comfortable. We often become more sensitive to noise as we age, and light and heat can also cause sleep problems. Using a sound machine, earplugs, or a sleep mask can help. Use your bedroom only for sleep. So by not working, watching TV, or using your computer in bed, your brain will associate the bedroom with just sleep. So that's important. Move bedroom clocks out of the view. So the light can disrupt your sleep, and anxiously watching the minutes tick by is a surefire recipe for insomnia. So if you keep looking at the clock, oh my God, it's 2 a.m. and I'm still awake. After some time, and when you are not sleeping, the time would surely for you, it will be moving way more slower than before. So next time you look at the clock, it's just 2:30 and you say, oh, it's just half an hour that has passed and I'm still not getting sleep. Again, you look at the clock, 3:15, I'm still not getting sleep. And this looking at the clock every now and then is going to make you more anxious, and more realization would be there that you're not getting sleep, leading to more stress. Avoid substances that discourage sleep. So substances like alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, and even large meals late in the day can make sleep more challenging. Avoid that. Try quitting smoking, reducing caffeine, and eating dinner at least 4 hours before bedtime. Let's talk about some diet tips to improve sleep. So as we already mentioned, limit caffeine late in the day. If you are fond of having coffee, have it in the evening, not just before going to bed. Avoid alcohol before bedtime. So it might seem that alcohol makes you sleepy, but it will actually disrupt your sleep. Satisfy your hunger prior to bed. Have a light snack such as a low sugar cereal, yogurt, or warm milk. That would help you. Cut down on sugary foods. That's a big one. Eating a diet high in sugar and refined carbs, such as white bread, white rice, pasta, and French fries, can cause wakefulness at night and pull you out of the deep restorative stages of sleep. Avoid big meals or spicy foods just before bedtime. So large or spicy meals may lead to indigestion or discomfort. Try to eat a modest sized dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime. Minimize liquid intake before sleep. So this is a big one. Limit what you drink within the hour and a half before bedtime to limit how often you wake up to use the bathroom at night. So if you're drinking lots of water, there would be more washroom trips, believe me. Limit sleep aids and sleeping pills. So many sleep aids have side effects and are not meant for long-term use. So sleeping pills don't actually address the causes of insomnia and can even make it worse in the long run. So while sleeping pills and sleep aids can be effective when used sparingly for short-term situations, such as recovery from a medical procedure, they won't cure your insomnia. In fact, they can actually make insomnia worse in the long term. So don't make it a habit to take sleeping pills on a regular basis. Cognitive behavior therapy is a form of psychotherapy that can be useful. It treats sleep problems by addressing the negative effects, the negative thoughts, worries, and behavior that prevent you from sleeping well at night. So that can be a good, safe way to cure your sleep problems. Keep a regular sleep schedule. Sometimes especially with students or even mature adults, older adults, we see that if they are on a vacation or if the exams are over, then the whole sleep schedule gets disrupted. So watching late night movies and then getting up late in the morning, it doesn't help. So having a regular sleep, especially if you have sleep problems, see to it that you are maintaining a regular sleep schedule. With whatever day of the week it is, go to sleep early, get up early, or whatever schedule suits you, but it should be a regular sleep schedule. Block out snoring. If snoring is keeping you up, try earplugs or separate bedrooms. Go to bed earlier. Adjust your bedtime to match when you feel like going to bed, even if that's earlier than it used to be. So all of you have different timings when you sleep. So see that, is it the right time that you are going to bed, or do you need to adjust your time? That would help you get sleep as soon as you hit your head on the pillow. Improve your sleep habits. Naturally boost your melatonin levels. So artificial lights at night can suppress your body's production of melatonin, so the hormone that makes you sleepy. So that's important. Use low wattage bulbs where it's safe to do so, and turn off the TV and computer at least 1 hour before bedtime. Don't read from a backlit device at night, such as an iPad. If you like to read from a tablet or other electronic device, switch to an e-reader that requires an additional light source. Develop a soothing bedtime ritual. Taking a bath, playing music, or practicing a relaxation technique such as progressive muscle relaxation, mindfulness, meditation, or deep breathing can help you wind down before bed. If you are comfortable with mantra repetition, that would improve your concentration. Meditation helps you with any kind of stress. Deep breathing relaxes your mind. Focus on your senses. Like lower the lights and consider a relaxing way to stimulate each of the 5 senses to find a method that works well for you. So here are some ideas. Like for sight, you can resort to guided imagery, coloring mandalas, pictures of a peaceful place, visualizing good stuff. Smell, a scented candle or aromatherapy can help you fall asleep. Touch, having a warm bath, a weighted blanket, self-massage, or a light yoga can help. Taste, sleep-friendly snack, tea, that can help people. Sense of hearing, instrumental music goes a long way. There are loads of music and sleep videos that are available on the internet. You can just put on that music and you will see how magical it is to fall asleep. Writing a to-do list. So make notes. So what happens with this? This is an important one. One of my favorites. So if you start making a to-do list, whatever is in your mind, you are putting it down on your phone or on a piece of paper. So you will get over the stress about having to remember that stuff. And your mind is free from that worry, what if I forget? Because you have already written it down. So writing a to-do list helps a lot. Reading a book really helps. Make it a habit, daily habit of reading a few pages of books before you go to sleep. Try writing a journal. A gratitude journal is one of the best things that you could do. Write about all the good things that you are thankful for. So when you start writing down all the good things that you are thankful for, your brain would get all the positive signals. Like, I'm thankful for being healthy. I'm thankful I don't need an oxygen. I'm thankful I do not have breathing issues. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends who support me so much. So when you start counting your blessings, your brain gets all the positive signals and you go to sleep with a peaceful mind. Listening to some soothing music helps. So there are loads of videos. If you want, I could share some of the links when Colleen would share the resources with you after the presentation. And you can go to these websites, download some soothing music, which you could make it a habit to listen to this music or do some nice relaxing activities that would help you in sleeping. Take a warm, soothing bath. Staying positive goes a long way. Get up in the morning thinking today is going to be a good day. And that's the kick start to the day. And believe me, if you keep reminding yourself of that, your worries will go down. You will feel less anxious, less stressed, and go to bed with that gratitude and positive thoughts. Now I would show you a small video about the breathing techniques. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing.
The 4-7-8 breath that I teach is the most powerful relaxation method that I've discovered. It's very simple, requires no equipment, takes very little time, costs nothing. And it is a practice. It's something that you have to do regularly. So in this technique, you breathe in through your nose quietly to a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and then blow air out through your mouth audibly and forcefully. And you do this for a total of 4 breath cycles. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And that's all. It's a bit hard for me to come back and talk to you after I do that because this produces a very pleasant altered state of consciousness that I'd rather stay in. You may not get that the first time you try it, but it's a reward of practicing this. And this is a practice. You must do this at least twice a day. So that 4 breath cycles at least twice a day. After a month, if you're comfortable with it, you can increase to 8 breath cycles each time you do it. But that's the absolute maximum. You can do it more frequently than twice a day, but never more than than 4 or 8 breath cycles at one time. It may take 4 to 6 weeks before you notice physiological changes from this, but over time, practicing this will lower heart rate, lower blood pressure, improve digestion, improve circulation. It promotes sleep if you get up in the middle of the night for any reason. It is the most effective anti-anxiety technique that I've found. I've taught it to patients with the most extreme forms of panic disorder who eventually brought that under control just relying on this breathing technique. So please practice it, do it regularly, and I think you'll be very pleased with the results.
Okay, so as far as this video is concerned, as he said, 4-7-8. So try, if you find it difficult to hold your breath for 7 counts and then releasing for 8 counts, try it for a lower duration, like you can breathe in with 4, hold it for 4 in the beginning, and release it for 4 or 5. So gradually you can increase it to 4, 5, and 6, and then 4, 6, and 7, and then till you are able to do 4, 7, and 8. And you will see a remarkable difference in your breathing strategies and breathing techniques. Talking about safe sleeping for seniors. So as people age, it's helpful to make changes to the bedroom environment that reduce the risk of accidents and makes it easier to call for help when needed. Here are some steps to consider for a safer night's sleep. So keep a telephone by the bed. So it's important to be able to call for help from bed. Put a phone on the nightstand, and even better, keep a list of important phone numbers nearby. So be careful about keeping a cell phone nearby, particularly if it receives too many notifications during the night, or if there's too much temptation to look at the bright screen. So that is very important, because you might, if you are not putting your cell phone on silent, every time there is a message, it might beep and disrupt your sleep. Make sure a light is within reach. So having a light easily accessible reduces the need to stumble around in the dark when getting out of bed. So this can reduce the risk of trips and falls when trying to find the light switch. So lights with motion sensors may be helpful in hallways or in the bathroom. Reduce hazards in the bedroom. So never smoke in bed, and be careful when placing objects in the bedroom that may become trip hazards, like rugs, cords, stools, and furniture. Another question that people ask me is, how much sleep do older adults need? So as you can see in this bar diagram, so there's a recommended hours of sleep based on age. So however, even though there are a number of hours that are mentioned here, I would still say that how you feel in the morning is more important than a specific number of hours. So frequently waking up, not feeling rested, or feeling tired during the day are the best indications that you are not getting enough sleep. So how you might have slept for 10 hours, but if you wake up feeling tired and grumpy, it means that you didn't have a sound sleep. So while sleep requirements vary from person to person, most healthy adults require 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Now, how to nap? Most of us are very fond of having a nap, especially in the afternoon. But some points to remember: keep it short. So naps as short as 5 minutes can improve alertness and certain memory processes. Most people benefit from limiting naps from 15 to 45 minutes. You may feel groggy and unable to concentrate after a longer nap. So it has to be a power nap. So some people I've seen, they say, I'm going to have a short nap, and they get up after 3 hours of sleep. That is not a nap, certainly not a nap. Nap early. So nap early in the afternoon. Napping too late in the day may disrupt your nighttime sleep. Be comfortable. Try to nap in a comfortable environment, preferably with limited light and noise. Just napping on a chair with your neck hanging loose doesn't help. So see that you are comfortable while you are taking a nap and not just dozing off in an uncomfortable position. Next comes the nighttime anxiety that a lot of people requested me to talk about. So what is nighttime anxiety and how do we just wind down, not up? Set a pre-sleep routine. So the trouble with nighttime anxiety is that all the problems from daylight hours, all the problems that you had in the day have a horrible habit of spiraling out of control after dark when you are in bed. It's being a long, tiring day and you are feeling shattered. Finally, you crawl into bed feeling exhausted and ready for a good night's sleep, only to find your mind has other ideas. Instead of drifting off into weightless slumber, your brain fires up and your head becomes crowded with endless worries you thought had been parked for the day. And even if we do initially drop off, those worries can still crowd in if we wake up during the night. The classic time to wake up seems to be between 2 and 4 a.m. Most of you would be laughing at this as I say that. So breathe in, hold for a few seconds, and then breathe out. Do this 3 times, or do the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Just follow the breathing as you do it. Breathing in this way instantly slows everything down, relaxes the mind and body, and helps channel your energy into breathing action. The breathing will give way to the tiredness, which will overcome anxiety and help you fall asleep. Soak it up. Taking a relaxing lavender bath can help declutter the mind. It's a natural sleep aid. There's an added benefit to it. The fall in body temperature we experience when we get out of the bath is a signal for the brains to start producing sleep-inducing melatonin. So we are training the brain to get a good sleep. Breathe and let go. Practice deep breathing can distract your mind from worries. Make your worries real. How do you make that happen? So write them down, what's on your mind at least an hour before bed. So by committing thoughts to paper, you control them. They no longer control you and live on paper instead of in your head. Another thing I always tell my clients is you should be good at parking. You should have good parking controls. How do you must be wondering, what is the relation of parking with sleep? Yes, there is. So if you think out of the box, if you are coming back from office and you are quite stressed about what's happening with your official worries of what's going on, the stress related to office, park that worry in office and then go home. Don't take your worries when you go home, because then you would be worried about your office stuff at home and won't be able to do justice about your role that you play at home of a father or a mom or a sister or a brother or a friend. So, and if you have anything that's worrying you at home, park them at home. Don't take it to office, because if that's in your head, that's not parked at home, then you'll be worried about what's happening at home and you won't be able to focus on your office work. So writing down your worries on a piece of paper or anywhere in your diary, that helps. It would no longer control you and they would stay there on the paper instead of in your head. Set clear goals. Have a clear plan for the next day. How your day is going to start. What are the things that you have prioritized to do the next day? Curb your cyber enthusiasm. Have a digital blackout for an hour before bed. I know it's difficult, but try it. Unplugging all devices that could stimulate the mind. Well, I know all of you have to keep your phone on charging. Do that, but put it on silent or put it somewhere where you cannot see it, the messages flashing on the screen. So curb your cyber enthusiasm. That's a big one. How do I get back to sleep at night? Well, the first step is don't stress. Stressing over the fact that you can't get back to sleep only encourages your body to stay awake. Try to stay out of your head and focus on the feelings and sensations in your body instead. Make relaxation your goal, not sleep. So try a relaxation technique such as deep breathing or meditation without getting out of bed. Although not a replacement for sleep, relaxation can still help rejuvenate your body. Don't look at the clock. So just get out of the bed and go into another room for 10 minutes if you're not getting sleep. Leaving the environment you feel uncomfortable in breaks the chain. It breaks the association with worries. But don't start checking your phone or scrolling through Facebook, because then you'll start getting interested in all that's there on the Facebook, all the messages that you are getting, all the videos, video links that you get, and that would keep your sleep farther away. So don't look at the clock, don't look on your phone, don't go on Facebook or WhatsApp or YouTube channels or Instagram or Twitter if you're not getting sleep, because that would make the problem worse. Go into the living room and then under a dim light, read a few pages of a light-hearted book or listen to soothing music. When you feel calm, return to your bed and begin some deep breathing again. That helps. Turn your pillow over. I always do that when you get back into bed. So it will feel cooler on your face and creates a separation from the last time you were lying there. Postpone worrying. If you wake during the night feeling anxious about something, make a brief note of it on paper and postpone worrying about it until the next day when it will be easier to resolve. You cannot do about certain things when you are in bed worrying about it. You know that the next day when you wake up, you will have enough time to get to those things that are worrying you and take action. Do a quiet, non-stimulating activity. It's very important, non-stimulating. If you have been awake for more than 20 minutes, get out of bed, do a non-stimulating activity, read a book, but keep the lights dim and avoid screens. Do not switch on the lights and everything and start the TV or listen to news, because all the news channels are full of negative news nowadays. The scores of the people who are, the numbers rising, the COVID cases, lack of facilities, and all the anxiety and stress goes up. So avoid screen time at that time if you're not getting sleep. Read something. Reading a book is the best way that you can have your mind not being distracted by the negative thoughts. Postpone worrying, as I said, write it on a paper and deal with it the next day. Now, this is one of my favorite videos, Health Matters.
If you want to be healthy here, doctors say you first need to be healthy here.
I've been finding patients with insomnia can have deficiencies in B vitamins, deficiencies in oleic acid.
Sleep medicine Dr. 𝗚će 𝗀 says processed foods can disrupt our sleep and even cause chronic disease.
Processed foods are higher in the glycemic index. They could lead to cancer, they could lead to heart disease, they could lead to gestational diabetes, beyond just obesity itself. There's a lot of things that it leads to.
Doctors say many chronic diseases and sleep disorders could be prevented if patients alter their diet and lifestyle. Instead of eating processed foods and sugary snacks, doctors recommend eating nutritious foods with fruits and vegetables.
And if you're eating 90 calories from a bowl of strawberries, you at least have phytonutrients, antioxidants to buffer some of the high sugar stress. But if you're getting 90 calories from a pack of Gushers, there's no antioxidants in that, and that just causes constant burden of stress there.
Throughout the day, he recommends patients eat more good fats like nuts, seeds, and avocado, and avoid the bad fats like vegetable oil and anything fried.
You know, life has a rhythm, and we have these biological rhythms, and there's biological rhythms in sleep, and there's biological rhythms in digestion as well. And some of the burden that chronic disease has, we end up on medications that end up interfering with sleep, you know, and then we end up gaining weight and we have more sleep apnea.
Maintaining a healthy and nutritious diet can keep your weight and sleep normal. For Lee Health, I'm Lindsay Fry.
So That brings us to the end of the presentation. You would be having a fair idea, I believe, about how to get good sleep.